All right, Kunal, hi, welcome to the show. You heard out, Utkarsh, the kind of, incentives that the government is planning to launch for the production of medical devices. And I suppose it's extremely timely as well, given that we are in the midst of a healthcare crisis. First up, if it comes in the form that, Utkarsh is... or rather in the form that it currently is, where firstly there is financial incentives for select companies, and secondly it's an incentive at 5% of the incremental sales of the made in India goods for 5 years. Where we are in terms of medical infrastructure is not in a very strong place, and now you have this incentive coming in this form. Do you think it is sufficient to sort of make up for the lack of medical infrastructure, especially when you have to compare it with the population?
Specifically for medical devices industry, so currently India imports approximately 85% of medical devices. And the scheme that we just talked about, allocating the 3,400 crore and providing the 5% incentive on the first invoice basis, while the scheme is good and it will provide incentives for the company, if we look at the medical device consumption is driven by the end market consumer and the doctor. And typically in the end market consumer, there is some concern regarding the qualities of the medical devices, especially those who needs to be implanted inside the body. There's some concern regarding the quality whenever it's domestically manufactured, is what I've seen. And the incentive itself, the 5% cost, 5% of the first invoice, in my view, is not very high. Given the kind of complexity of developing medical devices. And these incentives are for, I think, the 4 or 5 segments, which is oncology, radiology, cardiology, respiratory, and anesthesiology. These are the 5 segments where medical devices produced within these 5 segments will get the incentive. But typically, the end consumer is the king. The end consumer, as well as the doctor, is the final decision maker here. So it will depend how much uptake of the domestically manufactured medical devices will happen.
Right, Kunal, thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. That was, of course, regarding what's happening with the production link incentives for manufacturing sector, probably starting with manufacturing of medical devices. Also, you had something got to do with the APIs. So, all of this is definitely quite important. Some of the pharma names are doing well today, but markets are absolutely flat, about 16 odd points higher for the Sensex, absolutely flat as far as Nifty goes. Just wanted to highlight Reliance Industries, if you could just pull up that stock. 2,000 rupees, it's touched the 2,000 rupees mark. That's an important milestone, when you talk about Reliance or any other name. I mean, it's a psychological level. For the first time ever, it's hit 2,000 rupee mark. So let's wait and watch if it sees follow-up buying or not. It's really a situation where you can say that it can just move anywhere. We'll just pull up. Yeah, there you go. 2,000 rupees. It's hit sustainably above that level. Let's see what happens as far as Reliance Industries goes. But definitely been stock of the year, been stock of the, probably, this year since March when it hit the 950 mark. And right now it's about 2,000 odd rupees. Some of the pharma names are also gaining now. Oil marketing have gone up, and we earlier, when we spoke to Dr. C.K. Narayan, he also said that the oil price outlook will only help Reliance Industries. On that note, we're taking a break. Coming back quickly, we'll get you with the management of IIFL Finance on the other side of the break. They declared their numbers, one of the strong numbers, or probably the markets like the numbers, and that's why the stock is doing well.